and foremost to have a strong immunity, build the immune system of the baby, so that going a long way, this baby in their childhood, especially the toddler years, 5 years and below, and even going ahead, this is a child who will not be, will be immune to diseases and illnesses. We realize that there's a challenge with the younger children getting sick every now and then.
Yes.
And this takes a toll on the parents. At the end of the day, you find that it will also affect the child, because if the child is learning, then they are prone to absenteeism, because every now and then they are in and out of hospital because of mild infections and other illnesses that keep attacking them. So the most critical importance of breastfeeding is building the immunity of the child.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've talked about the first 6 months.
Yes.
And right now we have people working, and maybe somebody just got a child, got a baby, and they say, now how do they strike a balance between, breastfeeding and now being at work?
Okay, that's a very good question, which is now targeting on our theme for this year.
Yes.
Because we want to support all mothers who are breastfeeding. And even if you have to return to work after your 90 days of maternity leave, which is the standard that most of the employers give, the mother should know that according to the Breastfeeding Act, she has a right to be able to go to be supported to breastfeed.
Yes.
And we are calling upon employers to create spaces in their work or in their workstations to be able to provide support for such mothers. In this case, what I'm trying to explain is that some employers have gone ahead and created large spaces where the mother can come with the nanny and the child.
Yes.
And be able to step out of the workstation on several occasions to go and breastfeed. That is a mother who will now effectively do exclusive breastfeeding.
Yes.
Another mother whose workstation may just have a space where you can go and express and store the milk and go with it home later in the evening.
Yes.
Such a mother will, with the act of expressing, she'll be maintaining what we call lactation, meaning that the baby, it's like the baby has breastfed, because when the milk comes into the breast, then she's able to relieve herself and empty and store. And then she's able to have stores for leaving for the baby while she's away from work.
Yes.
So when this station is available, it allows an employee to be able to relieve herself, because the state of having engorged breasts or full breasts with milk can also be uncomfortable and cause the lady or the woman to be not at peace at work. And this will affect the employer, because her performance will not be good, because she's uneasy. But when she has this station where she can go relieve herself, comfortably store her milk without any worry, and leave later for the day.
Yes.
And maybe, of course, be given some flexible hours of arriving late and maybe leaving early, so that we totally give them this opportunity to do the exclusive breast milk or exclusive breastfeeding up to the end of the 6th month.
All right.
Yeah.
You've talked about where we store the milk. Is it really affordable for maybe the mother at individual level, or is it something that people can come together, or even an organization can come together to have that facility?
So when I talk about storage in the workstation or the workspace that the employer has created,
yes,
they just need a fridge, because, I don't think there'll be so many mothers, depending on the size of the organization. So they need a sizable fridge of which when the milk is stored in the normal fridge temperature, it can be safe for up to 24 hours.
All right.
Yeah. And in the event that, because we want to support all, we know that in some areas they may not be able to afford the fridges and things like that. But usually we say the breast milk in a cool place, maybe if it's not a very hot place, the breast milk can survive at room temperature.
Yes.
Within 6 to 8 hours, depending on the external temperature. So still this mother can express and have it still safe, assuming that she'll be at work for 6 hours and then go back home.
All right.
And at the end of the day, even if she will not use that expressed milk, what we have achieved is she has expressed and the process of lactation has continued, meaning that she will not lose out on her production levels. Because when a mother will not express during the working hours or breastfeed to empty the breast, what happens is as the days go by,
Yes.
the milk production will go down. And this is what gives mothers pressure to introduce the children to other feeds, because now the child is not getting satisfied with what she's leaving behind. She's getting a lot of pressure maybe from the nanny because the milk she leaves gets finished before time. So those are some of the things we are avoiding.
All right.
Yeah.
I think you're just going to hold it right there so that we have the latest in business, and then we'll come back to continue with the conversation.
Listen and live on 93.3 FM in Nairobi, 93.9 Western Kenya, and 101.9 Mombasa.
The Business Line. It's just business.
The Kenya Aviation's Workers Union, KAU, has opposed proposals by Adani Airport Holdings to take over management of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. KAU Secretary General Mos Ndiema says the Kenya Airports Authority has not yet conducted proper public participation on the proposal by the Indian conglomerate to acquire a 30-year concession period, which includes a new runway, terminal, and refurbish existing infrastructure at the aerodrome. The government has been considering a PPP model to aid in the construction of the facility, which is projected to handle at least 30 million passengers annually within the next 3 decades. According to Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Adani Airport Holdings submitted a privately initiated proposal as per the Public-Private Partnership Act in March this year, with the proposal currently being...
Feed, they don't understand the importance to the baby or even to the mother. Now we are talking to Valerie, who's in studio this wonderful morning to help us unpack this conversation. We had talked about the immune factor in breastfeeding. Would you want to take us through that?
Okay, what we mean by talking about the immune factor, the breast milk, that is the human milk, contains antibodies that are usually passed to the baby through the mother's milk.
Yes.
So those antibodies cannot be found in any other milk. And that is what strengthens the immune system of the child. Yeah.
Okay, we have some mothers maybe who are unable to breastfeed because of maybe medical challenges, because of health issues, or maybe because of some other reasons. How do they go about this?
So those are some of the challenges that we experience as healthcare workers when we encounter mothers who have some issues or they're on some medications that don't allow them to breastfeed because the medication is not safe for the baby.
Yes.
So most of the ones that fall in this category could be mothers who are undergoing any kind of oncology treatment. And also we can have a challenge of a mother who had complications during delivery and is not available to breastfeed her baby because maybe she's in a coma or by bad luck she passes on. So in such circumstances, that is when we choose alternatives to breast milk.
Yes.
Which, if available and affordable to the caregivers, then they are advised on how to use them appropriately.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you've talked about some of the challenges mothers face maybe while breastfeeding, having been in this field for quite some time. Maybe what are some of these challenges and how can they maneuver around to overcome them?
So the biggest challenge the mothers face, especially for first-time mothers, is they get fatigue. And fatigue will only come when you have the wrong posture during breastfeeding. So most of the time we make sure we encourage healthcare workers to teach mothers on positioning and attachment of a baby to the breast.
Yes.
Because when you do it in the wrong way, you will tend to hurt your back. You will get tired. You will get frustrated because the baby also can refuse even to breastfeed or reject the breast because they're also getting frustrated with the position.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, the mother does not enjoy that process. And yet it is a process that requires a lot of attention because when the mother is breastfeeding the baby, they are looking at the baby and there's an oxytocin hormone being released. The more that hormone is released, the more the milk production sets in. And so the way she positions the baby is very critical for her health, her back, especially her back. Yeah, so fatigue can be the biggest challenge.
Yes.
But we encourage support for these mothers, especially first-time mothers. We encourage support, put a pillow on their back, put a pillow between the baby and the mother's lap so that she can be able to bring the baby towards her so that she doesn't bend too much. And then we also encourage mothers to, when they don't position the baby well, the breasts can also get injuries. So she can develop cracks on her nipples. Sometimes the cracks are severe until they are bleeding. So in such a circumstance, she'll have to seek medical intervention for treatment and maybe stop breastfeeding on that breast. So to avoid any other complications of engorgement, she can just express the milk from that breast and discard, feed the baby on the other breast, and get treatment. But for the usual normal crack, she can just express her milk and apply on that nipple, which will be a faster relief and quicker treatment than using any kind of ointments or gels.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And over to you, Dr. Ojwang. There is someone saying that most young mothers are hesitant in breastfeeding their young ones. with the notion that watachapa. I don't know if you get the point. They don't want to breastfeed because wanaona watachapa, and they feel maybe they'll hawatakuwa soko vizuri. Yeah, I don't know if you get the point.
Yeah.
I don't know, how true is this allusion? Is it true that if a mother breastfeeds, wanachapa, or is it true?
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
So I think I'd like to dispel that notion.
Yes.
If anything, the benefits that my colleague has talked about
Yes.
are a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And ordinarily during pregnancy, a mother gains between 9 to 12 kgs because of the pregnancy.
Yes.
So mothers who breastfeed have been found to lose that weight a lot faster compared to mothers who do not breastfeed.
Yes.
So if anything, hiyo kuchapa, if anything, they will actually have that benefit of easing off that weight gain during pregnancy,
Yes.
which is an advantage. And the other advantages, maybe just to add on as well, in terms of also cardiovascular disease, there is a lower risk of cardiovascular disease for both the mother and the baby.
All right.
Na pia ina protect against ovarian and breast cancer.
Okay.
It has been found, some studies have shown that it's actually protective against breast and ovarian cancer. So ni kuchapa ama ni kuishi. If you had to choose one,
Yes.
you'd rather live tomorrow,
Yeah.
because of those benefits that have been conferred.
All
And
right.
there are a lot more other benefits that Valerie had mentioned, in addition to mental health and wellness, cognitive development as well. Kwa hivyo hiyo story ya kuchapa,
It's not true. All right.
it's not,
That-
it doesn't hold a lot of water.
Okay. And there is someone asking, Valerie, there is someone asking here, saying that their baby, 1 year, 4 months, has poor appetite, breastfeeds throughout. Is there anything she can do? Or maybe try the appetite booster, it ain't working. Can they just continue breastfeeding, or what exactly do they need to do?
Okay, that's a good question. We've spoken about exclusive breastfeeding, which is breastfeeding without giving anything else except medication that is prescribed up to the 180th day of the life of the child.
Yes.
After that, breast milk is not adequate for the baby's requirements. So this is when we carefully introduce complementary feeds that any mother needs who is regularly attending clinics for immunization or mother-child health clinics should be able to get this information from nutritionists that are placed in those facilities.
All right.
Because you need to be guided into how to start the complementary feeds. The breastfeeding can continue up to 2 years, but it will not be adequate for the baby after 6 months.
All right.
Yeah, so maybe she needs to be reviewed and listen to what she's giving the baby and see where we can add or remove.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can see our time is pretty much well spent. We only have 2 minutes. We only have 2 minutes to the end of our program this morning. And I can see many questions coming in. I can see feedback coming in, comments. And we might not have enough time to attend to all this. But we can only promise to have another session of this kind, some maybe come next week or the other week. So your last final remarks for today as we come to the end of the program.
Okay, my final remarks would be, first and foremost, I want to encourage all upcoming mothers to choose to breastfeed their babies. I know the young generation, as you said earlier, said they wanachapa and such things like their breasts will sag. But if you look at the long-term benefit of breastfeeding, then that is what will challenge you to do breastfeeding for 6 months. And then the thing that I just want to make emphasis on is support. we call upon the families, we call upon the caregivers and the people around mothers who are breastfeeding to support breastfeeding. Let us create spaces in our stations. We are hoping to even have spaces in the marketplace so that mothers can have that access to comfortably breastfeed, express, and store their milk for later use. And employers should be able to create those spaces in their organizations and also allow the breastfeeding mothers to have an ease of coming in and going so that she can achieve that 6 months exclusive. Failure to that, at the end of the day, when this baby grows and the mother is still your employee, you will just lose out because when she's forever absent because the baby is unwell, then now as an employer, you're the one losing out. So to everyone, to the mother, to the employer, to everyone that is revolving around this breastfeeding mother, the long-term benefit is what we are looking at the end.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Daktari, maybe you are in 30 seconds because I can see you're already 9. In 30 seconds, what can you say about this?
Yeah, I think I would probably call upon employers to support the breastfeeding mothers. So at Premier Care, we are very keen on that, and we'll definitely go into doing that to support our mothers. And also, it's important for the mothers to join support networks or to visit your local hospital. In case somebody has more questions on this, they can reach out to us on 0714 094 900.
All right.
0714 094 900.
All right. Thank you so much, Valerie and Dr. Juang, for creating time to be with us today to help us with this conversation. Have yourselves a lovely day.
Thank you.
Looking forward to have a continuation of this conversation in the near future.
Thank you.
Amen. You have a good day. All right. Thank you so much. That has been Valerie helping us with the conversation on why breastfeed. That has been Valerie and Dr. Juang in studio this morning on why breastfeed. We'll be continuing